Ladies and gentlemen, we finally get love, wrestling, and steroids in the same triangle of entertainment. But, of course, I would be talking about none other than the Smashing Machine. And, if you want to talk about it, sit down, let's have a drink. Alright, in the last 18 years, I don't think I've seen Dwayne Johnson lose or gain a single pound. He's like the real-life bald version of Wolverine. Alright, let me just start by saying that before this movie, I had absolutely no idea who the hell Mark Kerr was. But, after seeing this movie, I still have no idea who the hell Mark Kerr was. I mean, supposedly he's the guy that put UFC on the map, but I'm not feeling that impact. Let's be honest, I think Dwayne Johnson just wanted to make a movie about his favorite fighter. But, I've got pros, and I've got cons. Let's start off with the pros, shall we? Honestly, coming in, I thought this movie was gonna follow a Rocky Creed type of formula. A couple fights here, a couple fights there, training montage, done. But this actually happened to be an emotional roller coaster on steroids. Literally. Here we see famed fighter Mark Kerr struggle with his addiction to drugs, navigating relationships, and the absolute need to be the best. It was these elements together that made this one of the most emotionally impacting movies of the year. I mean, Dwayne Johnson's character goes through a myriad of turmoil. His wife was played by Emily Blunt, who was just an absolute bitch. Now, not the entire time. A well-character-developed bitch. I mean, every major character in this movie goes through significant development. I'm talking complete 180s. We get to see these characters change, sometimes for worse, sometimes for better, and how those changes impact the people around them. And, honestly, it was just beautiful. Speaking of characters, let's talk about Emily Blunt and Ryan Bader here. Emily Blunt really sinks it in here, and in some ways brings us more than one character. One minute she's one of the most loving wives since Jane Jetson. The next minute she's a greedy, self-victimizing, deranged Harley Quinn. My only wish is that they gave Emily even more screen time than they gave her. I want more Emily. She was so good at depicting this relationship, I felt like I was dating her. Well, thank the devil I wasn't. Alright, Emily Blunt is one thing, but Ryan Bader? I mean, where the hell did this guy come from? How many fights do you have to be in to get good acting knocked into you? And I mean, after Tiana Taylor's performance this year, actors are coming out of any corner from any industry. $20 says we'll see Bernie Sanders on the big screen before 2026. In all fairness, Ryan Bader's character was just another fighter, so I felt like he really just had to play a version of himself. But hey, if that's what makes it feel real, then so be it. Not to mention what else really helped sink in this movie's realistic display was its environment. I thought it was absolutely amazing how director Benny Safdie could make a world from only 25 years ago seem so far away. I mean, he actually captured the 2000s in a bottle. The only thing missing from this movie was a Lil Wayne song to top it all off. Like if the movie opened up with Dwayne Johnson walking out, glistening triceps and shoulders, and a Millie playing in the background, well, I would have gave this movie a 10 out of 10 immediately. So our final pro here has to be the big guy himself, Dwayne Johnson. I had a feeling coming into this movie that this was going to be one of Dwayne's strongest performances, but I was wrong. This is Dwayne Johnson's best performance. It felt like you were just watching him method act the whole time. Dwayne actually does a great job of reminding you that everyone sort of knows a person like young Mark Kerr. Everyone knows that gym bro that walks around with unnecessary gallons of water, sleeveless shirts that obviously weren't always sleeveless, and creatine powder all over their nose. That's the vibe he was given. Honestly, I haven't seen Dwayne Johnson do this well since The Game Plan. I don't care what you say, that was a fantastic movie. But Dwayne Johnson's still showing Hollywood that he's still the #1 ex-WWE wrestler turned actor. So, fuck you, John Cena. Alright, but now that I've glazed Dwayne Johnson harder than the Vaseline he used for the trailers, let's get on to the cons. This movie had a pacing issue for sure. It was only 2 hours long, but I promise you it feels like 3. A lot of it really comes from maybe the last 35 minutes of this movie. It could have wrapped up nice and easy at the hour-and-a-half mark, but they decided to rock us to sleep with a 10-minute lullaby. No, seriously, they played an actual lullaby for like 6 to 8 minutes, and I completely passed out. When I woke up, I had absolutely no idea what happened. I thought Dwayne Johnson came on the screen and just clocked me upside the horns. So, admittedly, I might have missed a couple of those last scenes. One thing I didn't miss, however, was the fights, because there were none. Now, the way this movie's written, it's really a deep dive into the life of someone whose job it is to take back shots to the face. I mean, the drama, the emotion, the realism, it's all there. But there was no damn fights. In a movie about a fighter. Imagine a biopic about Michael Jackson, and they never recreate any live performances, or any studio sessions. If this is truly the guy who put UFC on the map, well, maybe you should put a few of his fights on the script. Besides that, I honestly had no other grudges with this movie. I expected good when I walked in, and felt great when I walked out. Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Ryan Bader brought such a sense of realism to this movie. It felt like I was watching a documentary more than a biopic. I'd highly recommend you go see this while it's in theaters, and that being said, I had to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Lost 1 point for the pacing, lost 1 point for the lullaby, and lost 1 point for having no fights. But I had to give a point back just in case Dwayne Johnson ever sees this, and hopefully I'll get one of those big bear hugs I always see him give out. If I had to recommend another excellent sports fighting involved biopic, well, I'd recommend the movie Cinderella Man. But I want to know what you thought about The Smashing Machine. Talk to me in the comments.